going on, guys? Welcome back to the Leave It to the Judges MMA show. I'm with Xavier and Nick. Today we're going to be recapping Saryukian versus Dariush, the fight night in Texas. It was a pretty good night overall, but we're going to start with the main event. This was definitely a show out for Armin. This confirms he's a top 5 fighter in the lightweight division. He absolutely ran through Dariush in 64 seconds. And yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on his performance?
For one thing, it was definitely short-lived. So I would have liked to see Benil Dariush get a chance to like test him a little bit more in his grappling and his cardio. I kind of wanted to see this fight go a little longer. For it to like answer more questions about Arman for me, and his improvements. But for what it was, like he definitely just sparked Dariush. So it was impressive as fuck. Dariush is a fighter that I hold in high regard. I feel like he should have challenged for the title so long ago. And I feel like it's kind of sad for me that like I'm feeling like his time is done. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's now like no longer top 5 material, I don't feel.
Probably never going to get a title shot now.
That's what I'm saying, and it makes me like on one hand, I was happy for Arman because I mean, like him, Makachev too could be like different now. But because they both definitely improved more, like hella since that first fight. But like for Dariush, my heart went out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was pretty violent, the stoppage.
Yeah, I
How
also,
sleep was crazy.
yeah, that's true. He was out for a few minutes there.
It's
Um, I kind of predicted this, I feel. I did kind of say if it stayed on the feet like it did. I mean, there was not much to say here. It was just a really good punch, and Dariush's chin might be going downhill a little bit.
yeah.
So it's like I don't have much to say on this. Just it was a good knockout, a great finish. Um, I wish Dariush tried to just go for the wrestling right away. I just felt like the longer it stood on the feet in the first 2 rounds, the worse it was gonna be for him throughout those 2 rounds, and I felt like more likely he was gonna get knocked out, and that's what happened. But shout out both of them; they're great fighters. Armin, I don't know if he should fight for the title next if Oliveira isn't ready. Probably. But,
What about Gaethje
good
though?
win.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Armin is one big win away from a title shot, and I think that big win is Dustin Poirier.
I like
I
that.
think that's the fight to make after this.
I like that fight.
Yeah,
Because, like Xavier was alluding to, I think Gaethje and definitely Oliveira are still ahead of him in the pecking order. And in the meantime, Dustin's been dying for a fight, apparently, and that would be an amazing fight.
I also just kind of want to see like I feel like it's no secret that we're at the tail end of like Gaethje's run, Dustin Poirier's run, Connor's run. You know what I'm saying? And I would just like to see Makachev fight some of these guys. Like I'm kind of annoyed that he has to keep rematching Volkanovski. Granted, like that rematch was definitely warranted, considering how good Volk did in fight one. But like I do want to see like Makachev like fight some of these guys, like before they retire or like slip into irrelevancy to these up and coming guys. You know what I mean? So like, I feel like a Gaethje definitely needs to get a title shot before like a Arman gets another crack at him type shit. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, that's fair. I don't know. Gaethje's a weird one because I'm just thinking more of the matchup in that fight. We've seen 2 times now in title fights where he's not looked very good at all. And
Yeah.
in the way he's just been beat, like on the ground, I just don't see that going well once Gaethje gets to the ground. So that's the only reason I would like
Oh yeah, no, it wouldn't go well. It wouldn't go well for him. But I'm
You're
just
talking
saying.
about Islam, right?
I just think,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I just think that the way that he turned away Fazeev, like, kind of warrants him like getting another crack up type shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
And plus, it's like we know that these guys only have a couple fights left in their career, and while they're defending against these up and coming killers, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
Dariush couldn't turn away his up and coming killer. Clearly, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's like he's slipping in the rankings, but I mean Fazeev is a fucking monster, and you see how Gaethje handled him. So it's like I feel like that to me merits like a crack at Makachev, even though I don't think it would go well for him type shit. I still just want to see that test for Makachev though. You feel me?
Yeah. So out of Oliveira, Saryukian, and Gaethje, who do you think is the biggest threat to Islam right now?
Oh,
Come
that's
on.
the question. It's Charles Oliveira.
Oh,
Oh
okay. You guys are
my
split.
I like the Armin and like I don't hate that answer. He would be the second choice there.
Yeah,
Gaethje
probably.
finishing last no matter what
Yeah,
Okay.
the scenario.
definitely.
But Oliveira, I just have too much belief in the man. I feel like he could just finish anyone. He has the most submissions in the history of the sport. He's got all the stats. He's got the power, jiu-jitsu. He's kind of got it all. And he has the gas tank. One thing Sarzukian does not have.
Okay.
That'd be my argument there.
We kind of talked about like the threats Oliveira brings to Islam, but like what threats does a new Armin have for Islam?
I mean, I would say like just someone that like even at a younger age has proven that like his grappling, especially in the first couple rounds, can hold up at least enough to probably keep this fight more so on the feet than the first one was, I would say. Um, not to say that I don't think that Islam would probably get stronger as this fight went on. And Arman might like, the longer it went on, I would say it would favor Islam. But I think in the first like 2.5, 3 rounds, he could pose like decent counter grappling, you know what I'm saying, to at least like limit that part of the fight. And we've seen that both of them have grown in their striking ability. So it will be an interesting rematch, I would say.
Anything else you guys want to
I
touch
feel
on
like
this fight?
I feel like he has better wrestling, Clark, for me. I feel like he has better wrestling than Charles.
I
And
agree with you.
I feel like better wrestling is what would really nullify like a Habib Islam type. You know what I mean? Like better, like I would say like Charles is a more of a submission threat, but
Yeah,
like Armand's more of a threat to keep the fight, like keep Islam out of top control. You know what I mean? Like altogether, I would
like
say.
off his back or just staying up.
I'm just saying like staying up or like 50-50 positions, like, you know what I'm saying? Scrambles. Like Islam gets the takedown, but like Armand pops back up quick type shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know he's springy like that in the first like 2.5. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like against Gamrot type shit. Before Gamrot's like, cardio started to win him that fight slightly.
yeah. I would just love to see him versus Poirier because I feel like that'll answer more questions.
Who do you guys think's win that fight?
Ooh.
That's a good fight, man.
I'm not gonna lie, I might take Poirier, but it's kind of
Okay.
early, so I don't
I
know.
mean, I haven't seen Poirier in a while, and like the thing with fighters, unfortunately, it's very rare that like once you hit this phase of like the Dustin Poirier phase of your career that you're improving in your time off. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, was the last fight with Gaethje?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Poirier's getting slept.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like
Mm, yeah, no.
I respect him, man. I respect him, but it's like he could beat Armand for sure. Could, especially in the later rounds. If it gets to the later rounds, I feel like I would favor Poirier from like 4-5. You feel me?
Yeah.
But
It'd
like,
be a closer fight.
yeah,
It'd be a close fight.
yeah. I would say it will be he will put up a better challenge than Dariush did, unfortunately.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that's
And
about it. Go ahead.
just really quickly, what is next for Dariush? He is only 34, but that's 2 back-to-back stoppages, pretty bad ones. What's next for him?
Wait, click the lightweight ranks real quick. Give him. Does Dan Hooker have a fight?
He's injured.
Fuck.
Oh yeah.
You do Jalen Turner.
Give him Jalen Turner or BSD.
Ooh, there's some good fights.
BSD might execute him.
Yeah.
Turner might.
Or give him RDA, man.
Yeah, a nice old guy fight, kind of.
Yeah.
I mess with that.
I don't know. Well, RDA keeps going back and forth between lightweight and welterweight.
I don't
so-
think he even wants to be at lightweight though at this stage of his career.
Yeah, dude, like that's gotta be brutal.
I don't know.
All right, though. Let's move down the card to the co-main event. We'll talk about the stoppage after this, but let's talk about the performance and the fight first. I can't click on it, but what are you guys' thoughts on the fight first before the stoppage?
I feel like it was a good fight for as long as it lasted. I don't know I can't read the exact time, but it felt like maybe a minute and a half, 2 minute fight.
It was like minute 40, something like that.
Yeah, type shit. And then what happened. I feel like Bobby Green didn't look terrible. He looked about normal. I kind of figured like it looked like Jalen Turner was giving him problems with the length, the kicks. I was like, okay, this is gonna be a little harder for Bobby Green to do his thing because normally his thing is like his style with his hands down predicates a lot on like just like leaning right out of the way of shots, and Turner's length was clearly like giving him problems with that. You know what I'm saying? Trying to fight how he normally likes to fight. And then the kicks to the body were like also starting to slowly they were proving to be a weapon, but his Bobby Green's hands look decent. They always do. And then boom, Jalen Turner landed the fucking hammer on him, and it was kind of put him on chicken legs, put him down, and then what happened down there.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a great performance by Turner. I mean, I wasn't very surprised. Bobby Green's a little older, even though he had a nice knockout in his last fight. I just felt like Turner's length would be the advantage. And I agree with that. The kicks were working very well. And Bobby Green is a guy who likes to lean back, kind of who does a lot of that. I feel like Izzy does a lot of leaning back kind of
Yeah.
type of movement. So, he was definitely having trouble with the range of Turner. And, Turner, he has a lot of finishes on his record, knockout wise. So it was a nice punch, a nice finish. And then, same thing at the end. I mean, that was ridiculous.
Yeah, that stoppage is crazy. I think this fight kind of set things right. Jalen Turner kind of he's always dangerous, but he's kind of underperformed his past few fights. Like I think he was on a 2-fight losing skid, and Bobby Green was kind of overperforming. Like I don't really think a lot of people picked him to get that last finish, but let's move on to the stoppage, guys. One of the worst ones I've ever seen live, personally. They could have stopped it. I don't even know how many times before the ref actually stepped in. The ref did say that he regretted the decision. He knew it was bad afterwards, but like, I don't know. I don't think anyone's going to be held accountable for it. It's just kind of shitty. Bobby Green's okay, but what are you guys' thoughts on it?
There was no excuse for that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, credit to Bobby Green, tough motherfucker. He popped up faster than Dariush did after that shit, but yeah, there was absolutely no reason that went on as long as it did. As someone who, as a fight fan who just like cares about these fighters to some extent, like it was fucking sad to see the ref just letting that happen to Bobby Green. Jalen Turner, I mean, he did what he had to do. I don't blame him and shit. It's like you have to fight until the ref tells you to stop, but like terrible, terrible fucking like disgraceful to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's a damn shame. It's just, I mean, I've seen a lot of though. That was one of the worst ones I've seen in a while, probably. Kind of reminds me of Peter Yan against Aljo on Fight Island, or not Aljo. Who do you fight? Aldo. That was a pretty bad one as
Oh
well.
yeah.
And there's just been so many. I mean, these refs need to. Their job in there is to protect the fighters. And at the end of the day, that's your like first and only job for the most part. And this rep just I think I've heard he's an experienced guy. I think it's Kerry Hatley. Big John likes him as a rep. I think he's been good for most part of his career, but this was just a bad decision. And yeah, pretty bad, just disgraceful, really. I mean, he was just teeing off on him, barely any movement. It was sad to see, honestly. And Jalen Turner, I'm pretty sure, said that he felt bad after the fight, and he agreed it was pretty bad what was going on. But he was just only doing his job. I mean, you got to keep fighting, but yeah, not. It's just it's disappointing.
Yeah, luckily Bobby Green was okay after. Like he seemed in good spirits. He made a video about it, telling the fans he was okay. But like, I don't want to be dramatic, but one of these times, like something really bad could happen. Like that was a lot of unanswered shots to a dude that was like unconscious.
If people can
Basically.
here,
Yeah, like
it's fighting. Like if there's enough of some very hard punches coming down full force and you're not defending yourself, you could definitely just die right there. So I mean, it's pretty serious stuff when it comes to that, at least.
yeah. Anything else on this fight, boys?
No, I feel like you touched on it pretty well.
For sure. All right, let's move on to the feature fight. Honestly, this was probably the most interesting performance slash fight of the night for me. Figueiredo's bantamweight debut. He looked really good, man. His power carried over. He didn't look as slow. Rob Font did get up from a lot of the takedowns, but he was able to land 4 takedowns. What are your guys' thoughts on Figgy's debut at bantamweight?
What are your thoughts on it, Clark? Because I'll tell you I called it. I'll tell you I called that shit. And you thought that Rob Font was gonna be on some shit with his little boxing, you feel me?
Well, this is all I'll say. Great performance by Figgy. I thought he actually had probably like the best performance out of anyone. Even the people got knockouts. I was just impressed by how he was moving and getting out of the way of Font's constant pressure, and that helped him throughout the fight to set up all of his power shots. And as usual, I kind of just forget whenever Rob Font gets into a slugging match, he usually gets clipped and then ends up not handling it very well. And it was a clear power difference in this fight. Biggie's power came up and it looked good. Not much else to say. The takedowns actually looked pretty nice. Some nice groundwork. I feel like Biggie's gonna have to do a lot of groundwork to beat the dudes above, but he's definitely a contender right now, I would say. I would throw him in there.
Okay.
I would love to see him fight fucking Sanhagen, to be honest. Like I know it might be a little fast, whatever, but like just like how he was mixing in the grappling and how Sanhagen's been mixing in his grappling, like it makes me very like,
That'd be interesting.
excited at the prospects of that fight down the line at some point.
So Figgy's they put him at 8. He's at 8 now.
I fuck with that.
I like that. That's cool.
I like him versus Cheeto, but Cheeto's gonna,
Like him versus Jan.
Yeah, Jan doesn't have a fight.
That'd be an interesting one.
That'd be a crazy
I
fight.
feel like Jan would be a bad matchup for his ass.
Oh well, I just feel like there'll be a lot of punches thrown.
So how much do you think like not cutting all that weight is gonna help Figgy?
I think that to a certain extent, this late in his career is gonna help him more. Just in terms of like the older you get, like those weight cuts just get harder and harder. You know what I mean? Um, but I think that having that strength and size advantage that he did for so long was definitely like helpful for him, you know, a weight class down back in the day.
How far do you guys see Figgy going in the bantamweight division? Like, what's his peak?
I would say like maybe on his best day he could beat anybody, but like click the rankings one more time.
Ooh, I just feel like bantamweight is so stacked right now.
I I I would say he could do top 5 at least.
I
It's
like to
like,
see I like to see him fight Cejudo type shit. Like that'd be a nice one.
Yeah.
yeah, that'd be a cool one actually.
Oh,
They're around the same age and shit.
it's coach versus student. I don't know if they do that.
Oh
Uh
yeah, he trained with Henry.
uh fair. I forgot about that. Yeah, Sandhagen. I don't really want to see him fight Song Yadong right now.
Hmm.
I think yeah, I want to see Song
I'd
build
be
out his name up
interested in
more.
that fight though.
No, I mean I'd watch it. It'll be fire. Like any of these guys in the top, like I would say 10 at least. Like if you pit them against each other, like it would make for like a intriguing matchup. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just don't know if I see Figgy beating anyone in the top 5 really. Maybe Jan, but like Corey and I think it's too tricky for him. Yeah, I don't see him
He could
beating
beat
anyone in the
fucking
top
Aljo.
5.
I think he could beat Aljo. I think he
Yeah,
could beat Aljo.
I
Really? You guys are crazy, dude.
can see
No.
it, man.
I think he could beat
Just
Aljo.
see it like
I think Aljo would wrestle fuck him.
the what another split decision.
I
That's and
I don't think that he's gonna. I mean, like Biggie's jujitsu is decent down there though, so I don't think he's gonna be able to finish him in the first like quick type shit. And I think that the later that fight goes, Figgy's power carries, bro, and Aljo starts to wilt.
Okay.
And I've seen like we've seen Figgy like get into hella like grappling scrambles throughout his career. Like he's scrappy in there. He's not gonna just make it easy for Aljo to like control him down there. You know what I mean? He's a squirmy fucker. I could see him like finishing Aljo, to be honest with you.
Damn.
I don't know about a,
Okay.
but I think he can win.
And
In a 5 rounder and a 3 rounder, it might be tricky for him. Maybe.
Maybe
But
yeah.
in a 5 rounder, I would favor him in that bitch, to be honest with you.
oh, damn, that's a hot take. I feel
It,
like.
it it would be close for me. It would be close. I'd probably take Aljo, but I could see Figgy winning it.
And
Especially as an underdog, I would have to take a flyer on Figgy there. He might be like a plus like 300 favorite.
Probably.
Yeah, plus 300 undie. I might have to see that through.
well, and for Rob Font, he should fight Dominic Cruz, right? I feel like that'd be like a fun little fight.
Is Dominic Cruz like still fighting?
He's ranked 10, but yeah, I have no idea. He's not fought in so long.
He should fight Munoz, I guess.
Okay.
Get Munoz. I don't know who else he'd fight. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else on the card, boys, you want to go over before we wrap it up? You want to talk about the Sean Brady fight?
Yeah, let's keep going.
Let's talk about the Sean Brady fight. Damn, Gaslam got messed up, bro. I thought he was gonna win, man. He got fucked up.
I was surprised. Gaslam did not look good at all, really.
No, I thought he'd be faster and like.
Yeah, this was a big step back in my mind for him. A weight class I felt like he would do a lot better at. against a dude who just got knocked out by Bilal of all people,
Yeah.
and he just didn't look good. Couldn't stop the takedowns. I mean, Sean Brady's a beast, to be fair, in the grappling world, but I don't know. I expected a little more from Gastelum, to be honest.
Yeah, I definitely thought that sometimes Kelvin Gastelum might have in recent years come into fights a little out of shape at middleweight. And I thought that him coming down to welterweight was going to force him to have to, be a little more disciplined, probably have better cardio, you know what I'm saying? Be a little faster. And I thought that his experience dealing with middleweights would help him in the grappling department enough. We've seen Sean Brady like start to tire out if he can't get those takedowns type shit. And I thought that Gastelum was going to be able to keep it on the feet enough to give him problems. And that just wasn't the case. Like once he was on the ground, he was pretty much on the ground the rest of every round. So props to Sean Brady, I would say.
Yeah, big shout out.
Yeah, I don't really know where Gastelum goes from here. Like, his last fight, who did he fight? Chris Curtis. It was a pretty entertaining, fun fight.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But
I mean, I feel like he's a decent little gatekeeper at this point.
it's kind of crazy. Like, I saw something on Instagram. He was like doing really well, and then after the Izzy fight, he's been like, oh, and I don't even know, like 2-4 or some shit.
The Dominic Reyes effect, you know what I mean? When you fight so good against the champ, and then you know what I'm saying, you max out your abilities for that one performance, and then you know what I'm saying? You don't take these other fights probably as serious, and then you lose those bitches.
I honestly kind of believe that theory. Like, I'm not even joking.
Yikes! Did he beat John Jones?
No,
Okay, okay. I just wanted to make sure. It was a close fight.
it was
It
a
was
close.
it was close.
and ever since he's gotten knocked out.
John Jones is a championship round merchant. You feel me? He digs deep better than everybody else. That's why he etches these fights out, these close fights, I feel like.
That's
Dominic
true.
Reyes has to be the biggest example of the fall off, though. Like,
Yeah.
almost beating the GOAT to being like 0-4, 0-5, getting slept constantly. Like,
The way Yuri obliterated him was fucked.
oh my God.
That elbow.
Yeah, it was one of the more it was one of the more like vicious highlight finishes I've seen.
Same with like Blahovic and was it Ryan Spann? They're just all been bad.
Yeah.
He's being fucked up.
His chin's gone. I mean, it's gone.
But for Sean Brady, let me pull up the rankings. Like, is he a threat at all to anyone in the top 5? You could say. Like, where do you see his career going from here? It was a great win.
I mean, I could see him giving Wonderboy problems if he could, like, grapple fuck him. Maybe I think give him Gilbert Burns if Burns doesn't have a fight, but I do think Burns would finish him. But
That'd be a
like,
cool fight.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? I feel like give him a shot at that.
Just give him Bilal again. Just run back like.
Right now, just forget the title shot. Well, you get Sean Brady again.
Well, he's not fighting for the title.
I kind of want to see Bilal get his title shot, man. Just to like, you know what I'm saying, get him out of there. You know what I mean?
Okay. He was lucky he pulled out the Shavkat fight, but
So Shavkat, I think, would have finished him.
Oh, he would have murdered him probably.
hey, Bilal was smart. He skipped that fight.
Did not rebook that bitch at all. Had no interest.
Shavkat fight only boy. Next week, it's on the card, I think.
Yeah, it is. It's on the Leon card.
But who? Wait, Shavkat's fighting who?
Wonder Boy.
Wonder Boy.
Oh yeah. I remember.
That card is stacked.
It's that card.
The return of Tony.
Oh yeah, and
Possibly the last fight of Tony, depending on how this goes.
Please don't let Patty Pimblett flatline him, please, God.
If Patty loses, he might have to go.
Patty sucks. I mean, Patty is not a good fighter, dude.
Yeah, I feel like he's too young in his career still. I feel like
I think that he has to just like stop focusing on trying to entertain the fans if he wants to have a serious career. If he implemented his grappling more,
he'd be
I think that he'd be way more of a threat because his grappling is actually nasty down there.